Hey, good evening, everyone. It's a little darker than usual. I got a late start. Most of y'all know we have a hurricane coming our way. I think it's scheduled to hit late Sunday, early Monday, and the reports keep changing. It was supposed to hit Sunday, now it's supposed to hit Monday, and anyway, they still haven't given us an official advisory as to where the hurricane's gonna go. So we're staying put. We live in Miami. We're in the Homestead area, in case you're wondering, if you want to know. We are in a safe area. We're not close to the front where it's going to be coming in. But just want to say thank you for all your prayers. And I wanted to finish up our lesson on mindset. We've talked about communication now. We talked about the importance of personal development. We've talked about leadership and influence. And now today I want to close in on the final area of what I'll be speaking with throughout the whole year, throughout my whole life. All right, these are the areas I focus on. Personal development. Am I growing as a person? Communication. Am I speaking correctly? Am I communicating with my body, my tone, my voice, reaching out to people in a way that gives me favorable influence? In leadership, am I leading correctly? Am I influencing correctly in a way that gives me a favorable outcome and result? But now we're going to close the final topic on service. And this one is a topic I get majority of the information I get is from a person. You may have heard the term servant leadership. And this was first coined by Robert Greenleaf. And I'm reading from my computer here. He published in 1970 an essay called "The Servant as a Leader." It was the first time we've ever heard that word before. And so basically what he says is this, and let me read this here as I take my eyes away from the camera. But the servant leader is a servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. The conscious choice begins with one to aspire to lead. Alright, so now this definition, the servant leader is different than what we would think of as leader, right? I mean, perhaps maybe in the past you've thought a leader as a positional person, someone of power, of influence, definitely, but of power, no doubt. But when you think about a servant leader, I mean, people come to mind. Jesus comes to mind. Gandhi, Mother Teresa comes to mind, and perhaps you yourself know of these people, these leaders that they're just amazing people, right? They have so much influence, and yet they have no care in the world as to their pride and what happens to them or their reputation, because it's about other people, right? So they could be at the top of their game and still wash feet. I think of the story of Jesus, right? I mean, if you follow the Bible, Jesus himself was God. I mean, he was God incarnate in man, human flesh, and yet he washed the disciples' feet. He came and served us, really. He showed us what it was like to serve. And then one of the last commandments he gave is to, yes, love your God, but also love your neighbor and serve them, and go out and reach the population all over the world and serve them. And so we're talking about service today and the importance of it. And I don't think there's anything that will give you a sense of purpose like the purpose or like the act of serving. Don't believe me? Just go out there and do it then, if you don't believe me. I mean, go volunteer, right? Pick up a team, pick up a basketball team, a soccer team, or go volunteer anywhere at the shelters, helping people feed and clothing. Volunteer anywhere you can. And I'm telling you, when you start volunteering and giving of yourself, you'll start feeling a sense of purpose, and it's such a spiritual thing. And I know some of my audience here, they're not religious, or they don't have a religious affiliation. But just do it. I'm telling you. If you ever feel depressed, the remedy to that is service. Get up and go serve. Put other people's needs first. And you're going to see, when you serve, that is the cure to your depression. That is the cure. Now look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that what I'm trying to tell you is, there's just something about service that when you give of yourself, you take the focus in your mind off those problems that you have. And I want to encourage you to serve. Robert Greenleaf describes the servant leadership in this way. This is kind of like a test to see if you're a servant leader. Do those served grow as a person? Do they, while being served, become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, more likely themselves to become servants? And what is the effect on the least privileged in society? Will they benefit, or at least not be further deprived? So I'm going to put my computer down, and I just want to close off this whole lesson on mindset. You know, I talked about when I first started the first lesson on mindset, and we talked about wanting to become better and do better. I know there's a time in your life when you can have all the things you want in your life, and yet you're still feeling empty and void. And you see these written out in a lot of the suicide letters that some of these celebrities write, or just at the peak of their game, people just reach what it is they thought they wanted, and they get there only to find that they're still depressed and they're sad. Let me tell you something. Service is the answer, because we're not meant to be served, but we're meant to serve. And I just want to encourage you today, you know, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you do, whatever you're going through, there is no greater privilege in the world than to serve people. And yeah, some people are hard to serve, right? I mean, there are some people we think about in our heads and it's like, ain't no way I'm serving that person. That person's a jerk to me. Hey, I want to encourage you, serve that person. You have no idea why they might be a jerk. They might have grown up in a way that it just hurt them in their life, and they're going through hard times, and you have no idea how your act of kindness can do good for them and change them, really. So I want to encourage you today, as we close out this final lesson on mindset, put your mind on other people. Place them first. Put their needs first. Don't worry about you getting that promotion, that next position. I know I've been saying this whole time, communication, personal development, all that leads to that. Yes, it does. But hear me out. If you start to put other people first, I mean really place their needs first. You know, when the time comes and says, all right, who's getting promoted next? Start bragging about people, right? Like, hey, this person's really good. This person's really good. When the boss comes and says, I need a volunteer, raise your hand. Be the first one. Have a service mindset. Don't be the one selected just because no one else volunteered. You're not going to get no credit from that. Be the first one to volunteer. When no one wants the hard jobs, take the hard jobs. The easiest way to leadership and influence, right, is by volunteering yourself, by being the first one to stand up. That's where you get the big payoff, right? And not that you're doing it for the payoff, but that's just the natural result of service. I love the quote from Zig Ziglar. He says, you can get anything in life that you want as long as you put other people's needs before yours, all right? And that's so true. Just start placing people's needs first. Stop making it about yourself. Give away of yourself, and I'm telling you, you're going to see true fulfillment. And I want to thank you all for following me throughout this whole five lesson of all the topics we talked about. And it really does boil down to mindset. Where's your mind at? What are you thinking about, right? What are you feeding in your head? Because I'm telling you, whatever you put in your head, it will come to pass. If you do nothing, if you don't grow, if you don't try to communicate better, if you don't focus on leadership, and if you don't focus on service, I can guarantee you, your life is pretty much going to stay the same. It's not going to change. And tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're going to blame the government. You're going to ask for higher hourly wages. You're going to ask for better environment. You're going to blame everybody else except the one person that can make a difference in your life, and that's you. I want to challenge you. Step up to the plate. Make a difference. You can make a difference. You have the power to make a difference. I'm supporting you. And hey, if you got any questions, just let me know, alright? I'm here to support you in any way I can. But hey, I love you. I appreciate you. Moving from here on out, I plan to break all these concepts into little chunks and pieces. I talked big scope things recently, but I plan to break them all down in small chunks, and I'm looking forward to that. I will take a small break due to the hurricane, but if I can get a video out or two, I'm excited to do that. I'm glad to serve you. Okay. Well, that's all I got. You take care. I love you, and God is good.